this is notebook video number 2. Again, front cover should be decorated in something that you're proud of. Name should be on it. Your period should be on it somewhere. It should say science or science notebook, and it should have sort of sciencey things on the front. I don't care if it's colorful or not, but just neat, cool looking. Then you should have from today your checklist of all the things that need to be on it and point values and descriptions, so you know exactly what to do. Again, this will be due on Friday, but this was all classwork, so this should all be done anyway. You should have your table of contents. Again, notice I have all my page numbers. If something took up multiple pages, that's fine. I have a couple extra pages for table of contents. And then I have my kangaroo. I should have a couple of things highlighted on here. That should be taped in nicely. Here I've got my title, page number, and you should either have things like checked or colored or marked for each of these to get your 5 points there. For each brain rules, you're getting a couple points for the claim, 5 points always for your evidence, and make sure it's really detailed. What happened the first time, what happened the second time, be really detailed and descriptive about what was going on in your brain. And then the reasoning that was based on the John Medina video, we did all of these together. This is worth just a couple points. This should be in your notebook again. You should have all these. So each brain rules page, claims, evidence, reasoning is 10 points. Same exact thing for here. Couple points for the claim, 5 points for the evidence, a couple more points for the reasoning. So if you don't have that, get it down. All right. You may or may not have a reflection of the process depending on your class, so that'll be a couple extra points that I give you. Then you should have your survival, your top 5, their name and job, then why you chose them, what your plan was for them, how they were going to work together to survive, why didn't you choose others, what was your goal. I think that's something that we added after I did this one. So were you going to stay on the planet, were you going to leave? Then you should also have that worksheet taped in so you can refer back to it. After that, for another 5 points, you should have your reflection of how you did as a group member and how your whole family or team worked together. Make sure you've got good because statements. If you don't have evidence to back up what you ranked yourself as, then I'm not going to consider you seriously for your grade. So that's 5 points there. On the next page, we started getting into multitasking is a myth, so we watched that brain video. This section's worth 15 points. 5 points for your completed notes here, 5 points for your completed notes here, and 5 points for your notes here. So things that you need to do in life, so like I am not going to watch TV while I do my homework, and things that Mr. Ling is going to do, like we'll watch a video and then pause, or she'll make sure we're all ready before she moves on. All the things that I'm going to do and you're going to do, so we're not multitasking. So that's 15 points total. Again, we did all of that in class. After that, we've got another claim evidence reasoning, or CER, for vision trumps all the senses. We did evidence based on that Asian city before and after. And then your reasoning why. This was again from the John Medina little video on vision. What were the 3 things that helped us survive? What do we need the vision for? So you should have 3 things there for a couple more points. Then we looked at integrating the senses. So we did the chromosome dance as the second part. So you should be, describing in your evidence how well you did drawing the chromosome after I just read it, and how well you did it after you saw it, heard about it, did a dance. With it being multisensory, how well did you do then? And then you should have sort of your reasoning there as well. Again, if you don't have that, get it in. Next, we talked about repeat to remember. Some classes may not have gotten to the reasoning. So if you did not get to the reasoning, I would highly recommend that you watch the John Medina extra bonus part on memory. It is a really, really cool little video about a guy who had part of his brain removed and what happened to his memory, and here are the notes on that as well. I think most classes got to that, though. That's 10 points. After that, we started working on claims, evidence, reasoning, so we watched Pigeon Impossible. You should have at least 5 claims here. We probably have a lot more. For each claim, you should have at least 2 pieces of evidence. And again, you can just see that I've got lots of commas and little descriptions. The only one you don't have to have 2 pieces of evidence for is the Washington Monument if you said he's in DC. After that, we took notes on qualitative versus quantitative data, and we talked about Michael Jordan examples, and we've just got the notes there. That's only 5 points because that was real quick and easy, and you weren't using your brain quite as much. And last, we watched that ShamWow video. you should have qualitative and quantitative evidence that you used your worksheet we went over in class to check. And then from these things, you should have built yourself a claim as if you were selling this thing. You're the salesman. Based on this information, what did you claim? And again, your worksheet should have been taped in as well. So all those things with neatness and organization. Also, page numbers should always be either always on the top or always on the bottom corners. Titles on everything. Those things are added for a total of 140 points this time around.